Okay, so I've got rounds 1 to 3 here on 3 different pieces. I will do the catching up, so we're working in our production line method. And I won't go through how to do these. They're quite straightforward, but more than that, go and have a look at Jane's technique video that we've put into the playlist, which is called Simple Tips for Working Neatly in the Round. That's going to cover off making that starting circle and hiding the slip knot. It's going to cover off how to join in your yarn neatly when you're using double crochet, that's UK terms, and fastening off and things like that. So those first 3 rounds are almost really kind of covered in that video. So go and have a look at those, and once you get to round 4, come back to me and we'll do that one a little bit together. Right then, so we're going to do round 4, and if you've gone and watched that video as suggested, Jane will have shown you how to join your yarn in if you're doing if you're starting with a treble. So starting with a double treble, which is what we're now going to be doing, is no different really. So we'll do that together. We're going to want to join the yarn into any stitch that's at the top, or sort of sits at the top of one of these treble posts from our first round. And so you can see that this little stitch here sits nicely in line. So I'm going to join into that particular stitch. I'm going to pull my yarn through and make just 1 chain to start with, because if you remember that neat little tip, if I pass this end over the top of my working yarn and make my next chain, that is now secure and that's not going to pull out and we're not going to lose that yarn anywhere. All right, so again, do have a look at that video. It's really, really helpful. Okay, so I've got to join by working 1 chain and 3 chains. So that's 1 and that's 2 and that's 3 and that's 4. So we've got 4 chain all together in our joining stitch, and that is going to represent 1 double treble. So we're going to put 3 more double treble into the same stitch that we've joined in. And just a reminder, double treble, we're going to go once around the hook, twice around the hook, and go straight back in where we've just come out. So that's how you're working a double treble, and that's really as complicated as this round gets. We're going to do 3 of those in this first stitch. So twice around the hook and off you go. And this pattern in this round is very simple. We're going to be making these clusters of double trebles with a nice long chain in between. So there's my first 4 double treble cluster, and I'm now going to make 7 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I'm going to miss 3 stitches in this cardinal round, 1, 2 and 3, and I'm going to go and do that all over again in that next stitch. But this time obviously I'm not joining, I'm already joined, so I'm doing 4 double treble for each cluster. Okay, all into the same stitch. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. All right, and that's given me my next cluster, and we do the 7 chain and around we go all the way around. Okay, so I will do that and we'll show you what that looks like when we come to the end to join. Right, so I'm on the last repeat now. So here's the chain, the 7 chain, and I'm now going to put that little double treble cluster into the last of the stitches that I need to work into. So not terribly complicated, and what this is doing, it's sort of setting us up for the next round. This round and round 5 come as a pair to create that really nice sort of little petal effect, and we'll look at that in a minute. So just make sure you do get 4 double treble in every single place they need to go, because you do need them. Right, so I'm finishing with that 7 chain, and what we're going to do is tricky to see because we're working with dark yarn here, but I'm going to work into the 4th chain that we created when we started when we joined this colour in and started this round. So my hook's just gone through. I'm going to pull it through with a slip stitch, snip the yarn, and I will pull that all the way through, and I'll go back through where we made the slip stitch. Again, just do have a little look at Jane's video. It will explain all of this beautifully, and pull that through. And there we are, all the fibres coming off there. There we are with a completed round 4. And if you spread it out, it will look like what we've got on the picture in the pattern. All right, so round 4, double treble clusters. Right, round 5. Let's go through this one together. We're going to do some double trebling 4 together here. So just to give you a little heads up as to what that looks like. We're going to start by joining our yarn in the same way as we did in the last round, by working 4 chains. So let's just do that. We're going to start in the first double treble of any of these groups. So if I sort of spread that a little bit like that, you can see where my hook needs to go. It needs to go in that little hole there. So I'm going to pull through the yarn, and remember that little technique from Jane. So I'll do my first chain, and now I'm going to pass the cut end, if I can get it. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to pass the cut end over the working yarn, like so. So it all looks like it's got its legs crossed, and make the next chain. So now that's nice and secure, and that yarn isn't going anywhere. So 2 more chain, and that's going to count as our first double treble. Right, so for this first one only, we're going to double treble 3 together instead of the 4. So let me show you how that works. So we're going to set up our yarn as if we were doing a normal double treble. So it's round the hook twice, and I'm going to go into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and I'm going to stop there. Normally I'd yarn over and pull through again, but I'm going to miss that last or stop at that last stage, so I've still got 2 loops left on the hook. Okay, we're going to do this for the next one. So there's now sort of effectively 2 stitches there, isn't there? So we've got 2 more to do. So yarn around the hook twice. Let's go into our next stitch, draw through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and stop. We've now got 3 loops on our hook. Let's do that one more time. Yarn over twice, go through the last stitch of that little cluster, so that's the 4th of them, draw through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and stop. And you can see we've now got 4 loops on our hook, and at this point we are going to put a yarn over and go through all of them. And you'll see what that does is that's sort of given us a pointed effect at the top. It has turned all of those stitches into 1 stitch. So we've gone back down from 4 stitches there down to 1 stitch. So that is the double trebling together. Now we had a bit of an unusual one there because we started with our chain. So let's work through to the next one so we can see what it will look like for the rest of the round. Right, so we're going to hop between the 2 by making some chains. We're going to do 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to join that, or just anchor it into the chain we've made on the previous round by working 1 double crochet just into here. And again, I must remind you, we are working in UK terminology. Okay, so it's anchored there, it's pulled up that chain, that's part of the pattern, and it will look lovely at the end. Okay, so 5 more chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we have now got this 4 double treble cluster from the previous round that we're going to work into and double treble 4 together. So let's do all of that. So we're going to set up the yarn in the same way, twice around the hook, and we're going to go and put our hook into the very first stitch. I think this is the one that I fastened off on, so it's a bit tight. Okay, pull the yarn through, oops, get that right again, and yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2, and stop, so that we've got 2 loops on the hook. and work along that cluster in the same way. So into the next stitch, through two, stop. So we've now got 3 loops on the hook. Next stitch, yarn over twice, into the next stitch, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. At this point we've got 4 on the hook, but we're going to do 1 more now because we're doing the double treble 4 together. Into the last stitch, draw through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and that we've now got 2, 4, 5 loops on the hook. We're going to draw through all of those, and we have created that double treble 4 together and given us this nice bud shape. So that is how you're going to be double trebling 4 together on this round. Right, I've just got to the end of this round, and it is curly, so don't worry if your work curls. We'll block that all out at the end. I've done the last of the 5 chain, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the double treble 4 together to close. And you'll be able to see where that is. It's sort of the last accessible stitch, if you like, that's sort of slanted there. You'll be able to see it's the very top stitch. So I'm slip stitching. I'm going to cut the yarn and draw through just as we've done before. Come through from the back to the front with the hook and pull that. This is a bit I can never do. I can never get that picked up properly. Pull that through to the back and you've got a nice neat join. Okay, so that is it all fastened off. You've got all those lovely nice little bud shapes now. You can see how you made them. And if you want to, if you need to, like I always do, you can go just adjust where that little double crochet is sitting to make sure it's really central. So you got this really nice even finish. So that was round 5.